Hi everybody, and welcome back to How Not to Visualize Data Season 1. Today's contribution comes from salary.com and is a great chance to talk about how crucial it is to be honest with data viz, or maybe how not to be honest with data viz and why that's a big problem. This visualization shows stay-at-home moms' median annual salary both pre-pandemic and in 2020/2021. Now, this isn't a self-contained graph, but the article around it said they basically aggregated salaries for all the jobs that stay-at-home moms do, things like cleaner, cook, nanny, assistant, etc., and then they took that to get this measure. It's not ideal to have to read an article to know what the graph is, but that's a rant in another episode. A quick look at the graph shows that salaries for stay-at-home moms have doubled since pre-pandemic. Wait, that can't be right. Let's look again. So the bar on the right here is definitely about twice the size as the one on the left. Oh, okay. So now that I look more carefully, the scale on the y-axis doesn't start at 0. It starts at the perfectly natural value of $174,000. I think everyone has this story, but my Meemaw used to always tell me, if you don't start a graph at $174,000, why are you even graphing? Wait, no one else has that story? No, of course not. That story's absurd. This graph clearly picked a starting value a little below the pre-pandemic value, then picked an ending value a little above the 2020/2021 value and went from there. But as humans, we look at bar graphs as a total area, compare those in our head, so this is a problem. Instead of seeing this as a 3.5% gap between the two, which is the actual number, it looks like about a 100% jump. This is a problem, and I'm going to say it's misleading, on the verge of being dishonest. The point of data visualization is to share what the data say in a clear, easy to understand way, and the choices you make affect what people see in that first impression. This gives a wildly different first impression than what the data actually say, which is a major problem and something to be avoided at all costs. Instead, what I think happened was a writer wanted to tell a story about the massive jump in value of a stay-at-home mom during the pandemic, realized it was only a 3.5% jump, and told someone to find a way to make the viz match the conclusion they'd already reached. And the bad viz takes away from what I think the important point actually is. Household labor is undervalued and undercompensated, which people should talk about, but instead I'm spending this episode talking about this, which is unfortunate. Whenever you're building a graph, the principal idea here is to be honest with what you're showing. Let the data speak for themselves, let the readers draw accurate conclusions, and go from there. This graph unfortunately fell a little short there. That's all for this episode. Join me next time for the latest in fundamentally bad data viz.